So associated with widgets, you also have 5 points. So if you go to Appearance and you go to Widgets, you're going to see that the standard way that most of these sites are set up is you have widgets that are associated with your recent posts. And you can also go through and browse by categories. These are things that I'd like to see there. Okay? I mean, by default, a lot of people will just have that there, and if they've actually set up their categories, they're probably going to get some points there. But if you haven't set up your categories, I won't really give you the credit for the widgets either, because the widgets won't be functioning properly. They won't serve much of a purpose. So in this widget area, I should see something, even if it's just a list of recent posts. I was working yesterday, working on putting up, instead of recent posts, you could do, and I don't know if every theme will have it, but this theme had like latest 15 posts. Okay, and you can get plugins to add these different widgets. And that way it doesn't say recent posts over it, it shows you the post with a little icon. And it took us a while to figure this out, but that's a cool way of enhancing your widget area. You can see here I put like a weather widget in, okay, because that's going to relate to lessons at my surf shop and stuff like that. So if I go over here, and again, just like when I'm choosing plugins or widgets, I picked this widget specifically because it had been downloaded a lot and the reviews were really good, and it was just updated like a week ago. And of course, when I picked it, it worked perfectly fine. And I was doing this in the process of showing another student that had tried 7 different weather widgets, and none of them would work for Newmarket, Ontario. None of them. And the first one I picked worked because I specifically picked it based on reviews and updates and how many people had downloaded it. And it is a pretty cool weather widget, actually. So that's an example of something I might look for in the widget area. That also kind of enhances it a little bit for the user in terms of participation. Like a lot of the marking I'm going to do is it's a bit arbitrary, as I've mentioned. But it's obvious to me if you've just kind of cranked this out as fast as you possibly could, or if you took a little bit of time and tried to go through and find neat little things like that. So, I mean, that's a weather widget, but you can have all kinds of cool widgets in there besides having this stuff too. Comments RSS and entries RSS and feeds like that, that shouldn't be in there if you're not using that. So I want to see that cleaned up, right? Mine's still in there because I haven't pulled it out. But categories and recent posts and stuff like that are fine. And then maybe just one example of another cool kind of widget. You're doing something financially based, and you found like an interest calculator widget. Like a little mapping widget in there, like a distance calculator. There's all kinds of cool stuff you can put in there. Google fun widgets and just throw something in your sidebar just so you get the points. I'm telling you guys, like all the sections in class this week, and I'm recording these videos so that everybody knows. If you guys don't do this stuff, I'm trying to be fair here. I know when it comes down to it, what I'm going to be doing is looking at that grading breakdown and looking to see that I can give you points for the stuff you've done. So one of those other little things was the widget area. Okay, so that's it. I mean, that's all I'm going to tell you about it. Like, get the stuff out of there you're not using and put some stuff in there that's relevant. And if you have nothing, then I'm not going to give you the marks. If you just decided, oh, I don't need widgets, this is a big part of the benefit of using a WordPress site, is having these interactive sort of little things there. Just by having the categories there means that your user has a means to better sort out the information in the site and make it easier for them not to have to filter through all sorts of stuff just to find one little thing. The fact that most WordPress themes come with a search box is awesome, because you have a search engine automatically built into your site that works like a top. It's not that easy to get the Google custom search engine to work on an HTML site. It's actually quite a bit of work, but every WordPress theme just comes with it. So don't take that for granted. Use this stuff, okay? And use the widget area, because it's worth 5 points. Just to add here at the end of this this widgets video, I know that I am giving you guys 5 points for having some sort of functional and useful widget area. A lot of you have left all this stuff in here. If you have like RSS feeds and all that kind of stuff in your widgets, but you're not actually using any of that, you probably shouldn't leave it in the widgets. That's not going to demonstrate to me that you've tried to customize this area. Adding the weather widget in is something cool. Other little things you could do, if I go to plugins, I can just show you a few things.
The weather widget was the example I used here, but you can also like social media icons, which most themes come with them now. But that's a neat thing to put in your widget area. You can have little polling stations where people vote on stuff. You can have like metric conversion things if that applies. Like if you have like a baking site and you want to have like a converter for measurements, even for a makeup site that might be appropriate. So just add something into that widget area to show me that you've done something a little unique with it, something a little different. And then you'll get your 5 points for widgets for sure.